JD Stormbreaker, it's me. Always ready, Matt Cardona, the $1,000 broski, the Michael Jordan of wrestling figure collecting, and GCW World Champ. I heard that you have a YouTube channel. Well, listen, I love that. I love that you're scratching figure itch. I love that you are collecting. Listen, this is no competition, bro. You have your channel, we have our channel. I hope you have a lot of fun doing it. It's the best feeling in the world to take a figure, look at that mint on card figure, let it breathe, give a little big sniff, and then put it on display. Bro, you're the man. Thank you so much, and keep scratching that figure itch.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I have another 1/6 scale figure to review. This is the SW Toys FS031 Croft 3.0. Before I get into the review, I just want to mention, definitely subscribe to my channel. I do reviews on hot toys, I do reviews on 1/6 scale collectibles, and I also do reviews on any pop culture collectibles that I can get my hands on. So, full disclaimer, I am not up to date with any Tomb Raider property. Back in the day with the PlayStation 1, I used to play Tomb Raider 1 and I believe the second one, number 2. I also vaguely remember watching the Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider movie and its sequel. But I have not seen the new Tomb Raider movie. And I have also not played any of the current generation of Tomb Raider games. So of course, for any Tomb Raider enthusiasts out there, I apologize ahead of time. I am not familiar with this Lara Croft. Is it Lara Croft or is it Lara Croft? I don't know. I vaguely remember hearing somewhere that originally it was supposed to be pronounced Lara Croft. But because the spelling is Lara, people kept calling it Lara Croft. So I'm just going to keep calling it Lara Croft just because that's what I'm used to, I suppose. Of course, it could be the opposite way around. And again, I apologize. But yeah. Let's begin the review with a quick look at the art box. For those of you who are curious about the art box, this is what it looks like from the front. So you have a product shot of Lara Croft. It is a very nice shot, I feel, and I am happy to see that she has enough articulation from the impressions I get so far that she's able to wield that bow of hers with both of her hands. So yeah, so far it looks all right. The face is kind of, it's simple. I kind of wish it'd be more detailed, but of course we'll have a look at the actual product when we open it up. The right side of the box has nothing, just all black. And back of the box has nothing, just all black. And if you had seen the other two sides, you probably can guess the left side of the box has nothing, just all black. Alright, so I did open this up and just taking off the slip cover, I had looked at the item and its accessories. And if you notice right here, I'm already missing one of her accessories. I believe that should have been a knife, according to the shots that I get on websites that were pre-selling her. Now that's unfortunate. That kind of sucks. I'm not really too sure if I'm going to return her just because she's just missing the one item. It's annoying and it sucks. But I might just live with it. Might be just a knife. Might try to obtain the knife elsewhere. But for now, just note that I'm not able to review the knife just because I don't have one. So I will take this opportunity to look at the rest of her accessories. First off, she has a few of these arrows. They look like they're nicely made. They are a little flimsy, so they are sort of bendable. So you have to be careful. They are made of kind of a softer plastic, but they look really nice. I do like the painting on here. Gives it a lot of detail. A lot of small details here, actually. And I like how the tips actually do look like metal. All right, so taking a quick look at the bow. Very nice design work here. The rope that is on there is really flexible, so you can have her posed with it being drawn back. And I like the red colors that are on here. It's just kind of like, it's supposed to be just cloth that's tied on there. And there are some nice painted designs that's all over the bow. A nice gold color over the black. Also a nice detail that is etched into the bow itself. Looks really nice. And of course you have this quiver. I believe that's what it's called. It holds the arrows. Really nice. It is like a faux leather, but it is textured to look like leather. Now there is a way to hook it onto her strap. However, it is flimsy, so I don't know if it's going to actually stay or hold on there. I guess we'll see later. There's also some kind of like, it looks like ropes on there, as well as some strands that is made to mimic some kind of fur. And you have a nice pistol for Lara. Wouldn't be a Tomb Raider game or figure without a pistol for her. Would be badass if she actually had two of them, but this only comes with the one. And then you have a radio for her. It looks really nice, nicely painted. It's not as detailed as the Damn Toys Leon's radio, but still really nice. Oops. I had dropped it. But anyways, still really nice. Nice little details on here that is sculpted. It's got a clip as well. Hopefully it stays onto her belt. But yeah, let's attach that later. Lara also comes with this rope. It is actually like rope. It feels kind of nice. Hopefully it stays together in this kind of shape so I can attach it to her belt. I don't think it's meant to be used as rope. It's kind of tied together. I mean, maybe you can probably use it as some kind of rope for her to hold on to. However, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to untie it and find out that I can't put it back in some sort of knot. So yeah. You have a sort of holster for her pistol. Now this one I believe attaches to her leg, her right leg, so she can just draw her pistol with her right hand. And of course, her pistol just slides into it very nicely. It is a harder plastic, so it looks real nice. I do like how they painted it with kind of like the neon green on there. Or is it a neon yellow? It looks more like a green to me. Then you have this, it's kind of a strap that's meant to hold her quiver. It is a faux leather. I am afraid that the faux leather is kind of flimsy though. I don't know how it will be when you strap it up to her. I guess I'll find out a little bit later. Hopefully I'll be able to tighten these straps up. Then it should be secure around her body. Then you have these climbing, I'm not really sure what they're called. Climbing pickaxes? Climbing axe? Climbing tool? Anyways, they're painted really nicely and sculpted really nicely. They actually look like actual tools. And I do like how the handle has that kind of tape around it. It does appear that SW Toys put a lot of work, at least into these tools, so they look somewhat accurate from what I know. Of course, I don't know a whole lot about climbing myself because I don't really climb mountains or hills or anything. It wouldn't be a very good 1/6 scale figure if you didn't have some hand switch outs. Of course, you have some pistol shooting hands. You have a left and a right. And of course, you have some other tool holding hands. Now, it is like a kind of like a fist, but you can hold items in there. Sculpted really nicely. I do like how they're weathered with some kind of green weathering and some brownish in there. And you have some scratches. Again, kind of sucks not having the knife to review. Or at least to show you guys. But for those of you who do have this figure or are going to purchase this figure, hopefully your knife is nicely painted and nicely sculpted. But anyways, these are her accessories. Let's go on and have a look at the figure. We're going to do a turnaround of the figure and then we will have a closer look. Whoops, I lied. There is one more accessory that I forgot to show you guys. And no, it is not that little packet that says do not eat. It is actually this little carabiner. Carabiner. I think that's how you pronounce it. But anyways, it's in a little Ziploc packet. And you have to know that it is not metal. It's not an actual carabiner. It's actually plastic, but it's meant to look like a carabiner. Carabiner? I don't know. All right, so taking a closer look at her. So, like I said, the face sculpt is a bit simple. I kind of wish there was more detail put into this face sculpt. Maybe a little bit more paint work would probably help, just so, like a little bit more makeup, maybe, just so the eyes just don't look so plain and the face doesn't look so plain. It's all right. The hair is sculpted really nicely as well. Nice straight lines on there. It looks okay. I wouldn't say it's the best work, but it's adequate. It's what I expected from this figure. Not too bad here. The paintwork on the hair is all right. It's got different tones of brown in there. And I do like the way it is sculpted all nicely and nice and clean. I may look into getting maybe a third-party head sculpt or a custom one. You can turn her head left and right. She can't really look up. She can look downwards with the help of the neck. So you can move the neck and she's able to do it. Well, actually, you can also move the neck to look upwards. So that kind of helps out. Do notice that she has this necklace. It's just pretty much just a little string and a little green plastic part. Not too bad. I wasn't really looking for this specifically. Again, I don't know the new Lara Croft character. Maybe she has this on all the time. I'm not really too sure. I do remember Lara Croft having, she was very top heavy. This one is not so much.
And a lady should be modest.
Yes, a lady should be modest.
She is wearing a full leather vest. It's just blue here, and it feels really nice. It's a soft, kind of like a soft full leather. Looks pretty good. I mean, it serves its purpose. I do like the kind of ribbing on the sides here. So it is kind of two different materials. Does have a really good ab crunch, and you can bend it back pretty far. Nice body here. I believe this is, it's not a Fison. It's a Jayu, I think it's called. Maybe, or somewhat like it. So it does have a skeleton in there, and it's got soft skin around it. So for those of you who have seen these seamless bodies, you should be familiar with these ones. I feel like her torso is really long though compared to her head. Maybe it's just me, but it seems like torso is really tall. Now, if you pull the arm up, you'll notice it bends really weird right in the shoulder area. You kind of have to adjust it so the bend is natural, because that really doesn't look natural unless you go like that. So there, a whole lot better. I do notice that I'm getting marks all over the body here. I don't know if it was originally there, but the more I handle it, I get these little marks. So you just have to watch out for that. And you kind of see this powdery substance all over the body. I'm pretty sure that's there to maybe protect the body, but you'll notice marks here and there. Like, look at the armpit area. You have kind of like this dark dirt that was there. I'm pretty sure that I wasn't handling it before, so it was kind of there. And you have this kind of line there in the middle, so that's kind of unsightly. Turning her arm up, again, you'll get some kind of weird folds. So you kind of have to readjust the skin or the arm so you don't get these weird folds all over her arm or body. Bend her elbow and see how it looks. So you can bend her elbow pretty far. Really good articulation, but you have to watch out because with these seamless bodies, sometimes the skeleton tends to break through the skin if you have it kind of posed in a certain way for too long. So just be very careful that it doesn't happen to yours if you have any figures with these seamless bodies. You can twist the wrist, of course. And I do note that she does have very skinny arms. They're not so skinny that they don't have any muscle tone on them. However, I feel like for someone like Lara Croft, you should have a little bit more muscle just because you are very active. I mean, that's how I feel. She's a video game character, so who knows? Maybe she's just supposed to be like that. Anyways, pants look really nice. They do look like they have some kind of weathering on there, some kind of like a dark wash just to make them look a little dirty and worn. belt, you have these kind of zippers that are kind of fake zippers. There's no way to unzip them. I don't know if there is a Velcro on the fly area there. Maybe not. The pockets are not functional. They're not actual pockets, of course. I feel like it's really tight in the rear end there. So you have to kind of watch out as you pose her pants, because they're kind of low on the hips. They may be, I guess, coming down. I do like the knee area. I like this kind of material on her knees. Very nice that they have a couple of materials on the pants itself, so it's just not just one. Really nice weathering on the pants. Boots look really nice. They're sculpted and you can twist them. There is no twist on the legs. You can twist them on the joints, but not on the legs themselves. Pulling up her leg. So you can pull them up about this far comfortably with the jeans kind of all tight there. Now you'll see it is coming down around her butt area there. So that's as far as you could probably get. Twisting her knee. Now I have to find the right knee joint as it's kind of turned in there. And here we go. Pretty nice bend at the knee. It doesn't go all the way up, but it's still pretty good. Now, let's see here. I feel like there's a part of the skin or her calf that's getting in the way of her bending all the way up. Might be her jeans as well that are too tight. And as I suspected, the boots don't have any articulation at all. They're sculpted really nicely, but again, it's one of those boots that is just kind of like a hard plastic. And you can't really bend them. So that's unfortunate. There's no kind of rocker and there's no kind of bend on the foot. Let's see how far you can pull the legs apart. It's about that far. And yeah. You'll notice the belt kind of comes undone, sort of, like it kind of goes above her waist, so you kind of have to readjust. And her pants tend to ride up the more you bend the legs, so be mindful of that. But anyways, here you go. That is pretty much the close-up look at this figure. It's alright. It's what I expected. Nothing really too major with this figure. Of course, if you are a Lara Croft fan, it may matter to you a whole lot more than it does to me. I do like the character, but I'm just not familiar with her. Alright, so let's start strapping on this gun holster. It goes onto her right leg. So what you have to do is just get it around the leg, and there's actually two straps, and then what you do is you just have to get the part of the strap with the teeth to get into the other part on the opposite side, because it's really tiny. It's very difficult. I don't have like big sausage fingers by any means, but for me it was pretty difficult because it was a little awkward. Just getting those teeth in there. You kind of have to squeeze the teeth together and get them into the right slot. And there you have it. But of course, when you first strap them in, you'll find that it is absolutely loose. You need to kind of pull them tighter by pulling on the straps. That way it just doesn't slide down her leg. So next up, let's grab her arrows and put them in the quiver. Now you just have to kind of get that mock fur part, and you just want to kind of slide them in there. Be very gentle with these. You don't want them to get caught on each other or on the inside of the quiver. And you can kind of fit 3 comfortably. If you try to stick 4 in there, it might actually not work out or look as good. All right, so this is actually later on. I had noticed that it's cool that you can stick these in there. However, to try to get them out, it might be a pain in the butt, just because they kind of get caught on the kind of inside part of the cloth that's like kind of like the faux fur. So they're all getting caught in there on each other as well. So just know that if you're going to stick these arrows into the quiver, they may not come out. So yeah. Next up, let's take a look at this harness / strap. that just goes around her upper body. Now, here is the figure itself. I'm going to figure out how to put this on her. I guess I'll just slide this on top, or just slide the left arm through here and just try to get it over her head. I guess it's better if I just take the head off. Oh, that looks a little bit weird. Looks like a piece of caramel or something. I am completely puzzled on how this actually is supposed to work. There. Now, if I can have it just like this, it would look very nice. But, I wonder if you have to put it a little bit further down. All right. So I think it goes like this. And yeah, I don't like how loose it is, though. Hopefully I can tighten these straps up. And I don't know which way it would look the best. All right, so taking the quiver and just stick it on here, I've noticed that it doesn't really stay on, or if you try to stand the figure up, it's just going to fall right off. I wonder if there's another way of doing this. It didn't come with any instructions, so of course, I'm not really too sure how this will stay on there. I mean, if it's like this, then for sure it's just going to fall off. And the strap, of course, is not really tight on the body, so it looks kind of silly. Maybe it goes up here? No, doesn't seem like it should be like that. Of course, if anybody else has this figure and you guys figure it out, let me know in the comments. All right, so I have it on somewhat. It kind of stays on there, but if you kind of move it a bit, it just kind of falls off. It's really flimsy and it doesn't really stay that well. I wish it was kind of like a plastic clip so then it'll stay on properly. I did tighten the strap somewhat, as much as I could. Like you can tighten at certain spots, except for that middle one that's closest to the left arm. There's no way of tightening that one strap that goes onto the left shoulder. Couldn't figure it out otherwise, and it still kind of turns if you kind of move it. So it's kind of an annoying thing. Kind of wish that they just made the vest and had the strap already sewn onto the vest. It would be very helpful and it won't really move. Of course, it won't be really good for customizers, but I think for everyone else, it would probably be a whole lot better. At least I think so. But yeah, it's seriously annoying how loose this middle strap is. I'm going to try to put the quiver back on again, and I mean I can have it in there, but just to get it to not to move, I'm going to have to tuck it into the strap. That way, it just stays in one spot. So at least I can pose it. Like you're not going to see her back anyways, unless I'm actually posing it, showing her back. But I mean, at least that'll keep the quiver still. I've also attached the radio on there. It actually stays nicely just because the clip is a harder plastic and it just clips to the back of her belt. All right, what I'm going to do now is stick this rope on this fake carabiner. It just kind of slides on. I'm just going to have it hanging off of it. And then I'm going to stick her climbing tools on there as well so she can have them all hanging off of her belt. All right, so I'm going to try to stick the carabiner into that end hole there and have the other one also on there. All right, so I have them both slipped on, but it's a really tight fit, so you kind of have to keep working at it. And here we go. Have them all on there. The rope and the two climbing tools just on that one carabiner onto her belt loop. Looks all right. Again, I don't really climb mountains or anything. So I don't know if that's what it's supposed to look like, but to me, it looks really cool. Looks like she has a whole lot of accessories that is just on that one hoop or that one carabiner alongside that radio, and it's attached to her belt. I do have to note, since making this video, the leg holster has slipped down quite often. It is definitely a negative of this figure. I've tightened it as much as I can. However, it always comes loose and just slides down. So just note that when you do tighten them, they don't really stay that well. I almost feel like I want to tie a knot so it doesn't really, the straps don't really come loose at the legs there. But who knows? I do find it annoying that quiver doesn't really stay that well. Again, if you do know how to get this attached to her body without it just kind of falling off, please let me know. It'll help out a whole lot. And yeah, I wish it worked out better, but I don't have a very good idea or example of how to get this strapped on for you guys. Sorry about that. Nearing the end of the video, let's have a little bit more of a look at her in some different poses, and I'll give you some of my thoughts. So first off, I have kind of posed her here and there and kind of saw how she looked with different accessories and whatnot. Tried to put as many accessories as I could on her, but the more I did, the more, especially with the bow, the more it felt like this. I find when I try to add more accessories onto Lara, other accessories tend to just fall off. It's not to say it's a terrible figure. I believe this figure is very average. I do like the seamless body. Some people don't like the seamless bodies. I don't mind them as long as they look alright. Like if they're posed properly, then they look fine. And of course, you don't want to pose them for too long or the body may rip in certain areas like the elbows. The rest of the figure, again, is very, it's all right. Like the clothing is all right. The colors they chose for everything is all right. The face sculpt could use a little bit of work. Could use a little bit more detail on the hair, for example. A little bit more weathering on some items, like maybe the gloves on her hands. The bow I thought was okay. I do like the little details on there. Like the accessories are alright. The straps maybe a little bit more weathering and whatnot. Overall, I feel you get what you paid for. It's a very inexpensive figure compared to some very expensive hot toys. But of course, you're going to find the detail is certainly not up to the level of those hot toys. But again, you should expect this kind of quality if you are going to pay that amount. Because I don't have any affinity with the character, not to say I don't care that much, but obviously if you are a fan of this character, you'll probably care a whole lot more if certain things don't look exactly like they should in the latest iteration of Tomb Raider. I do find her arms are kind of skinny, and I do find her torso is a little long. Could be just me. I don't know if the character in the video game, the current one, actually looks that way. From what I've seen, she doesn't really look that way. So, am I right to say that it should be different? Maybe. But you can get her posed in a whole lot of different action poses. There's some parts I don't like, of course, like the straps on the leg keep falling off on her holster. I wish that harness or strap around her upper torso kind of was a little tighter so it would stay on her body. I wish that quiver would actually stay onto that harness. Yeah, those are pretty much the only irks I have about this figure. Otherwise, it's an alright figure. I do wish there were other options for Lara Croft out there, but of course, without a current video game that is coming out, I feel like a whole lot of companies won't do a figure of a video game that is a few years back now. I know there's a mobile game called Tomb Raider Reloaded. I believe it's probably an iOS or Android game, but I was specifically talking about the console games such as Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I believe was in 2018 or 19. May have had DLC in 2019, and Rise of the Tomb Raider came out in 2015. So it's been a while since you've had that kind of a Tomb Raider game. Hopefully one does come out pretty soon, and then we'll have another iteration of Lara Croft in a 1/6 figure form. or hopefully another company, another third-party company, or a larger company, maybe Hot Toys, or maybe not. Maybe they'll release a Lara Croft, and then we'll have a few more options. But until then, this one I think will look pretty good on your shelf, as long as you have her posed in a Tomb Raider-esque way, depicting Lara Croft like the badass that she is. Anyways, everyone, let me know what you think in the comments. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I hope to see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.